Hello, dear friends. Today I am going to share with you my vows of simplicity and service. Service to the earth, service to you, service to the plants and animals we share this home with, and service to our greater humanity. I first made my vows in 2015, and many of these are lifetime vows. Others I renew every 4 years. And I do this in alignment with the presidential cycles of the United States. Before I share the vows with you, I would like to share a little bit about why I choose to take these vows. It is a rather unique thing to do for a human being to take a set of vows when they are not required to do so, just out of their own desire. And it is not something that most of our peers have. I have dedicated my life to being of service. I consider myself a public servant. I do not have a government position or a position in a corporation. Really, I don't have any titles. I'm just a human being. Others do this through the position of politics. And in doing so, they have a set of commitments that they adhere to. And I have chosen to do this as well. Now, when it comes to our public leaders, the reality is that most of them are falling quite short in my desire for integrity, for truth, for transparency, in really being the leaders that we need for our humanity to move forward in a harmonious way, in a way where we take care of one another, where we're there for one another, and where we take care of this earth that we live upon. And so these vows are a way for me to commit to exactly what I want to be doing with my life. But at the same time, these vows are a way to show what is possible for our leaders, to show what we can do, to show the depth we can go to when it comes to being of service. It's not just leaders, though, who I would like to set an example for and to be here in support with. It's everyone. Every single one of us plays a role within our communities and within the greater humanity that we're a part of. And I want to use this opportunity of my life as a way to help to stimulate deep critical thought and self-reflection, to help people ask, what am I doing with my life? And is my life contributing to the world, contributing to others in the way that I would like it to? And so I make these vows very public and open as an opportunity for you to question everything, to question our societal structures, to question the way that you're doing things and ask, do I want to do things differently? I'm just here to show that another way is possible. In some ways, these vows that I'm going to share, they might seem restrictive to you. They might seem like they would prevent me from living a full life. I need some restriction to help me on a path of integrity and truth in a world where consumerism is so deeply tied to exploitation, to destruction, to such levels of inequity and injustice. So many of our daily actions are tied to things we would never want to contribute to and to support. These vows are not from a place of any form of guilt or shame, right or wrong, should or have to. These vows are here for me to live the life of the deepest truth, transparency, and integrity that I have possible within me, and they are here to help me on this path. I first took my vows on April 8th, 2015, and these are my renewed vows, which go for a 4-year increment. So these vows go until November 7th, 2028. I commit to earning less than the federal poverty threshold annually. When I first made my vows, this threshold was $11,000. Now, in 2024, it is $15,000. So what that means is that I will not earn more than the federal poverty threshold in any year. And this is a lifetime commitment. A big part of this is that By limiting the amount of money I can make, I limit the ability of people to purchase my decision making. It is very easy in the society to become sidetracked in the pursuit of financial wealth. By committing to earning less than the federal poverty threshold annually, I have made a very substantial move for my lifetime of minimizing the possibility of me making decisions that are not of best interest for Earth, for you, for our fellow humanity, and for the plants and animals that we share this home with. I commit to maintaining a very minimal net worth. My commitment is to have a net worth of maximum $15,000 in financial assets and $15,000 in material possessions. These are based on the federal poverty thresholds. Since 2015, my net worth has been below $15,000 total between all financial and physical possessions or assets, and it has generally ranged from around $2,000 to $10,000. This is part of my commitment to live simply so that others may simply live. This is a sense of being that I have taken from Mahatma Gandhi, who is one of my greatest influences, in a time of such inequity, where some people have so much while others have so little. This is my simple way of saying that I will not exist in a way where I am getting my needs met in a way that is taking from others. I will not exist in a way that increases the wealth gap, but rather in a way that helps to shrink that wealth gap and create equity between my brothers and sisters, my fellow humanity here on Earth. I am committed to life to donating 100% of what would be my media earnings directly to nonprofits, which means the funds don't even come through me. They are donated directly to the people and to the organizations doing the work. This includes the books that I write, TV shows, media appearances, anything on social media. I do not earn a penny from any of this. I am committed to practicing deep financial transparency. This means that you will know my financial situation, where the money is coming from, who it's coming from, and any corporations that I am financially involved with. I have published every single one of these interactions that is, I think, above $100 on my website, and I have committed to doing this for my entire life. There is simply no way that I will be involved financially with corporations that you won't know about. And so that gives you the opportunity to decide what my motivations are, what my true mission is, and the truth behind my actions. That's the idea of transparency. I have made a lifetime vow to not paying federal taxes. When I learned where our taxes go, I simply could not continue to be putting my money into these systems. Our taxes very strongly go to the military-industrial complex. They are fueling the wars that we have put upon the world here from the United States. It fuels the prison systems, it fuels police brutality, it fuels the fossil fuel industries, the pharmaceutical industry corruption, the bailing out of the big banks. So many of the things that I have removed from my life in so many ways are paid for by our federal tax dollars. So I have made this lifetime commitment to say I'm not putting my money into those systems. But of course, I'm not going to stop there. I have created my own tax system in which I actually am donating at a much higher percentage the earnings that I would have to the people, which of course is the whole idea of a tax system in the first place. It's our money. It's for us. So I have chosen to earn below the federal poverty threshold for life so that I can legally do this. And through doing this, I am able to direct the funds in a way that is equitable, particularly to the groups of people that are being served the least by our tax systems and by our federal government. This is a tax system that I am taking part in from a place of joy, from a voluntary place, and a place of service, and I am so grateful to be able to contribute in this way. I commit to adhering to ethical financial practices and to not investing in any systems or corporations that are a part of inequity, injustice, and destruction. In 2012, I took all of my investments out of the system that were a part of these systems of destruction and exploitation, such as my IRAs and my life insurance. Not too long after that, I removed my money from the big banks, which invest in so much destruction. I have made a lifetime commitment to the money that I have, making sure that I am not putting it into these systems, but instead putting it into the systems that are creating harmony, that are creating the restoration and the regeneration of this earth, and that are serving the people, not exploiting the people. In fact, I have no financial investments, no life savings, no retirement accounts. Why? Because the truth is that I don't even know that we have a future as a humanity. The way that things currently are, I don't know if these systems will even exist in my elder years. But more importantly, I have started to dissolve this illusion of separateness. I truly believe that it makes more sense for me to invest in the now than the future. Clean air, fresh water, nourishing foods. These are just a few examples of where I am placing my investments. To the people, right now, not to myself 40 years from now. A new vow for me for 2024 to 2028 is to exist in a state of complete truth and transparency. Again, Mahatma Gandhi is one of my great influences in this regard. I read in his autobiography that basically the last 13 years of his life, there was nothing left to write because everything that he had done, it was all already known. He was existing in a place of complete truth and transparency as far as I can tell. And that is very invigorating to me. That's what I want to be doing with my life. So this year, as I walked from Canada to Los Angeles, I made a commitment to share everything inside of myself that was a secret. Anything I was guarding or hiding, anything that I was embarrassed for people to know, anything that kept me from being my most full and authentic self, and ultimately of deepest service. I have shared all of that, and so I am now existing without any secret. There isn't one. I'm existing in a full state of truth. My mind is Creative Commons. There's nothing in here that is not available to you if you ask. I am fully committed to that, and I'm committed to maintaining this state for a minimum of the next 4 years. Now, I'm leaning on that becoming a lifetime vow, but I'm starting with 4 years in order to be able to see, because this is quite the experiment with truth that I am embarking on. 4 years without a lie, only the truth. Another new vow for me as of 2024 is to practice complete non-sexuality and non-romance. And I began this practice 2 years ago. I embarked on just 1 year of a break from sexuality and romance. 1 year turned into 2 years, and now I am committing to another 4 years. So this will be a practice for 6 years from the age of 36 to 42 of a non-sexuality. And this is really contributing to me being whole and complete. And I truly believe that being whole and complete is of utter importance for our leaders. When we are whole and complete inside, then we can be of deepest service. Ram Dass says, we work on ourselves so that we can be of service to others. And as I'm not spending this time pursuing sex and being involved in sex and romance, I am taking this time to do this deep inner work so that I can bring myself to the world in the deepest state of peace and integrity. And this 4-year commitment to non-sexuality runs so deep in so many ways. Another reason is that I want to be available to all humans, and especially to women who don't have a lot of men in their life that they're completely safe with. In so much of our leadership, we have men taking advantage of their position to sexually abuse, or not necessarily abuse, but just take advantage of, in the sense of using their position of power. However words you want to place to it, there's a whole spectrum, and I am deeply committed to not being on that spectrum at all, but to truly being a safe man to be with, and to being a brother to the sisterhood out there. Back to the vows that I started in 2015, the last two were new, returning to the vow to release the vast majority of my work under Creative Commons. What Creative Commons is it means that the content that I release is actually owned by the public. It is public domain. So my writing, my photos, my videos, my speaking, my words, this is all Creative Commons. It is not copyrighted. I do not own it. I am not here to make money off of these messages. I am here to share the messages, and they can be on any platform. They can be monetized. I have released everything on my website, my social media, my YouTube channel, under the Creative Commons Universal License. And even my most recent book was released under Creative Commons as an experiment in the gift economy. Not everything that I do is Creative Commons, because I work with companies. I work with others who do monetize work, whether it be books or TV shows, and I'm happy to put those messages out into the world in a way that I don't have control over them, because that's what I need to do, or not need to, it's what I choose to do to reach people, to reach the masses. But that said, I am fully dedicated to making sure that my work is available and accessible. And so most of the work that I even do release through partnerships that are not Creative Commons, well, that information is on my website, it's on my social media, and it's available to the people. I'm grateful to say that the last vow that I'm sharing has become basically irrelevant in my life, which is an interesting place to be. In 2015, I vowed to practicing full transparency with all of the flights that I took. In doing so, you would know if I was flying, because it's one of the most destructive ways in which we interact with the earth, and you could see what I was up to, because every flight that I've ever taken is published transparently on my website, and why I take that flight. I committed to a deep level of ethics as to choosing whether I fly or not. Now, as of 2022, I no longer have a form of ID, so flying is not very much of an option right now. And the last flight that I took was now over 4 years ago, in the summer of 2020. Yet I commit to practicing a deep level of transparency and ethics with my flying, should I fly again in the future. Well, dearest friends, these are my vows from 2024 to 2028. As I shared earlier, I renew them as part of the federal election cycles. The reason that I have timed it in that way is because I really want to be example to our leaders, and even to the President of the United States. These vows that I have shared, the vast majority of them, they could practice with a deep or very similar level of integrity. I believe that truth, transparency, and integrity are so deeply important in all of our presidents, regardless of which party they are in. I am here to exist in a state of integrity, to embody my values, and these vows are designed to help me commit. These vows, I put them out into the world, and I say, for the next 4 years, you can count on me for this, and that helps me. This is my guiding values that helps me. And you help me to live this life as well. By me sharing these publicly, this is what you could say forces me, but it's a joyous force. It's a voluntary force, but it forces me into living my values. So I'm so grateful to be able to share these values with you, to share these vows with you, and to be on this journey together. My website details all of these vows at robingreenfield.org/vows. And within that, within each vow, there is a link that dives more into my relationship with that subject. Whether it is the truth and transparency, the non-sexuality, my net worth, the log of how much money I make each year, the log of all companies that I have been involved with since 2015. All of this is documented in depth, real depth on my website. And so for those of you who want to know who I am, those of you who want to decide whether or not I am somebody that you want to learn from, somebody that you want to see in a position of leadership, this is all there for you with transparency and easy access. These vows and this integrity, this transparency, and this truth is designed to dissolve these doors and these walls and to make clear, open gateways to understanding and to working together in service to Earth, to our fellow humanity, and to the plants and animals we share this home with. I love you all very, very much. Let's take a few deep breaths together if you'd like. Did you feel that, my friends?